Today I'm going to be talking about the collateral damage of estrangement. Do you know someone who is estranged from either a family member or a friend? And how does that affect you? So we're going to be talking about that today, so stay tuned. Hi, guys, it's me again. Welcome back to the show. I appreciate you listening and watching. Um, so, I want to do things a little differently today. I recently found an article that I thought that everyone might be interested in. So let's get on to that. We're gonna go through the article. I'll bring it up on my screen, and then we can discuss it a little bit. And I will make sure that I have linked to that article in the description, so you can pull up the entire article. You can read every word for yourself and see if that gleans any help for you. So here we go. The article is by Dr. Barbara Greensberg. I found it in Psychology Today. Now, I don't know Dr. Greensberg personally, but I did reach out to her and make sure she's okay with me using her article. Before we get into the article, I'd like to ask if you guys enjoy my videos, enjoy my channel and my content, please make sure and give me a like on the video. And if you haven't subscribed already, please consider subscribing. It really does help the channel. It helps get the word out there to more parents, more estranged adult children even, and anyone else who is curious about the topic. So I appreciate that. So there are a few key points that I want to talk about. One is the tension it causes between the estranged family member and other family or friends. Now remember, I'm talking right now to those people that are considered the collateral damage of estrangement. So keep that in mind while you're listening. Then effective ways to handle these situations, and should you or should you not get in the middle of the estrangements. So have you ever had a friend who decided they were, or two friends perhaps, that were decided they were no longer going to speak to each other? Now, before that, you guys did things together. You dinner, drinks, party, whatever, holidays, and now you are the person that speaks to both of them, but they don't speak to each other. So that kind of puts you in the middle. Where does that leave you at? Or maybe you have two other siblings that they no longer talk. Again, how do you deal with that situation? Then what most of us here on the channel are dealing with is, say your sibling refuses to speak to one or both of your parents. Sometimes it's for various reasons, and sometimes they may have decided they just need to take a break from them, or they may just never want to speak to them again for whatever reason. So that leaves you in a rather difficult situation. Where does that leave you? And I think the takeaways there are, how will it affect you really? You know, you may be feeling some of the anxiety, stress, anger, the same emotions that those two people are, but for very different reasons. You may fear that you could be the next one to be cut off. All it takes is one little misstep, one little saying something that could cause them to treat you that same way. So that's, hard to deal with. Holidays. Before the estrangements, before all this happened, holidays would be times of joy, times of happiness, and now sometimes it can just all be about logistics, making sure that those two warring factions, I'll say, are kept apart. You might be in a position that one expects one side or both sides expect you to keep some sort of secret from the other one. And then, should you pick a side? Where should your allegiances lie? Can you be loyal to both of them at the same time? So those are a few things that you may encounter, the questions you might have to ask yourself. So Dr. Greenberg gives a few suggestions here, and you should really try as hard as you can not to take sides. They were both in your life before estrangement, and hopefully they will both be in your life during or after estrangement. Keep both relationships and map out clear boundaries with them. Make sure they understand you will not be sharing information about the other side. As far as get-togethers go, you have a couple of options. You could alternate times with them, spend Thanksgiving with one, Christmas with another, New Year's with the other, and go back and forth. You could continue to do what you're doing and just hope for the best. Or you could not spend time with either one of them. And these are by all means not the only options there are, but those are a few that you can take away from this situation. Now, some estrangements do heal and some do not. There's no magic potion. There is no right thing for everyone. So it just really depends. If you find yourself in this situation, I always suggest finding someone else outside of the situation to discuss it with, because otherwise then you're going to be creating another situation where someone gets pulled into the middle of it. So whether it's some sort of a counselor, a professional, some sort of support group that you can find, something, and that will help you get some guidance. Lastly, I'd like to add for myself that if you've cut off a family member, now I'm speaking to the person who chose to walk away for whatever reason, no judgment. But if you cut off the family member or friend, that you really consider not trying to put your other family or friends in the middle to have them take sides. It's really not likely to end well, and you may end up with one more person not in your life. So those are just a few things, like I said, that I ran across in this article. Thought that it would be interesting for a little bit interesting, different take on some things. I know I've talked about it in various episodes before, but like I've always said, I like to try to get other people's input and opinions. So thank you guys for listening. Again, remember to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. If you'd like to reach out to me, if you'd have questions or like to be on the show, feel free to reach out to me. My email address is beyondthepainpodcast@gmail.com. So again, I thank you guys for listening, and please try to remember to live beyond the pain. Have a good one.